Okay, so Marcus, let's start our session. Let me first introduce, I think like both of us should introduce ourselves. I'm Professor Dr. Inam Ullah Khan.
Wait, start again.
Yeah, you can hear me? Yeah, first you. Okay. Yes, please. Marcus, you want to introduce yourself or should I introduce you?
Yeah, welcome to this next podcast or online session. My name is Professor Markus Launer from Germany. I teach at Ostfalia University and I research at the Institute for Contemporary Studies on Management called COSIM. It's a research institute established 10 years ago with the funding of the Lotto Sports Foundation. And this year we will start a new exciting new paradigm on artificial intelligence. And I'm very happy to work together with Inam and the AI Explain Science. And we signed today the cooperation. We will talk about that and also about publication in the era of artificial intelligence. A lot of things have changed.
Yeah, true. So I will introduce myself as well. My name is Professor Dr. Inam Ullah Khan. I worked at Lincoln University, Azerbaijan University of Construction and Architecture, and also I work at IE School of Science and Technology, Spain. I'm a visiting researcher at King's College and currently living in Sweden and working with Markus sidewise in the COSIM Institute as well. I'm super happy to have Professor Markus with us in this great session. In the today's session, we will be talking about how to write a research paper, and also we will be happy to talk about the research opportunities, and also we will be talking about the conference opportunities within Europe. Where me and Markus together, we have planned a lot of activities, so we will be talking about that. So let's start our activity of today, Professor Markus. And what do you think?
With the invitation to our conference.
Yeah,
First
yeah,
things first, September 8th,
yeah,
we have a live seminar in Germany. So everybody who has budget and can afford to travel to Germany, please come and join. We will do a full week of activities, including the postdoctoral program. And arrival would be around September 4 or 5. Over the weekend, we will visit Bremen, Hamburg, Lübeck, and we have a great seminar in Uelzen. Then we will transfer to Berlin. On the way, we will stop over in Schwerin, which is the most beautiful castle in Germany. Yeah, forget the Cinderella Castle in Bavaria. That's also nice, but the most exciting one is in Schwerin. And then we will be in Berlin as a guest of the SRH University, and we'll have a big ceremony. So this is the part in presence, and maybe Inam, you can talk about the online conference and how to register.
yeah. The conference we are having, it's a joint venture with Professor Markus, and from Markus' side, there are a lot of seminars and workshops planned. And from the AI Explain You Science, we are having a conference which is with SRH Berlin University is with us, and we are having Professor Reiner and their team is with us, and we are going to have a conference on unmanned aerial vehicles like drones, cybersecurity, cryptography. It's a combination of that, and the publications of that, like the joint venture where the COSIM Institute and AI Explain You Science is going to do that. So it is regarding like the publications will be done Scopus Index, and it is with Taylor and Francis. With Taylor and Francis, we are having a proceedings. Each and everything we will share it on our, like already it is shared on the website as well, and I will share it over here with you guys as well regarding the Germany event. And it will be a great event because it will be a hybrid event. We will be live from Germany, and it will be a hybrid event, so we will be connected with a lot of people from around the world as well. Like you guys have witnessed, many people have witnessed from last I will say like last 2 days we was in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. Earlier than that we was there in Baku, Azerbaijan, and you all have witnessed a lot of speakers, more than 35 speakers, and many people papers was presented. In the previous conference we was having around more than like 100, like 200 papers we was having, nearly like that. So it was a great event, and I hope that you guys will see the success of the event, our event in Germany as well, because in Germany we will be having a lot of places to visit as well. And it will be great if someone is interested, they can contact me directly. If someone is in Pakistan, India, they can contact me. Someone is in Europe, they want to contact Professor Markus, they can contact him as well. We can give you an invitation. If someone is interested to participate, to present their paper, they can present their papers as well. Initially, we will just talk about a little bit about like how to write a paper. Professor Markus, what comes up in your mind that how we can write a paper, or if a new researcher like a postdoctoral fellow, or if a PhD student, or if a bachelor's or master's student want to write a research paper, what you will say about that?
Well, first of all, everybody is chasing for the Scopus indexed papers, and that's a special challenge. I mean, it's not a very high hurdle. Scopus means that it's an organized process, and it's the Scopus is observing and controlling the process. So it's a good process, very objective, and but it's not easy to get Scopus indexed publications. They put it into different categories: Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So there are different journals in the ranking, Q1 being the highest, and that's going to be very difficult. We discussed it last time. I recommend, if you start publishing, publish with someone who is experienced already and who is has already an H index installed. What is an H index? This is an index. The Hirsch index calculates if you have citations of your published research. So if you start with cooperating with other groups, that's fine. However, some of the journals now will ask, what was your part in this paper? So the times are over where you can just add someone, that he gets a citation or a publication. Ethically, you need to sign off. What did you do? Did you do the literature study? Did you do the calculations or proofreading or the concept? And that needs to be written down. So that it's basically new. I see this for the last year by now. I got asked a lot. There are some papers with lots of people on it. Yeah, mostly the non-indexed papers. Yeah, sometimes I see up to 20 people on a paper. That's basically more from Asia and more on presentations and pre-publications. Yeah, and that's good for training, being part of a group, but for adding up in the rankings, not so good. I would not recommend to start alone unless you go to a just maybe non-indexed journal. But the thing is, you need to learn the process. You need to learn to make good research design, write the paper well, and concentrate on what the paper wants. That needs to be learned. And so there are many things you need to take care of.
Yeah, that's true. I totally agree with Professor Markus, because like personally from last I will say a decade, we receive a lot of papers, and like many students do a mistake while like they are doing their literature study, they miss a lot of things, because in literature you need to go for finding a gap. And once you go and find a gap, right now it is super easy. In the previous session, Professor Marcus discussed this in a very great way, because like right now AI tools are with us, and through AI tools we can easily do our R&D quite quickly. Like if I say about myself, so previously I was doing my literature study, it was taking around 8 months, a year, and right now it is not taking that much time, because AI tools are helping all of us. And through AI tools, we can find papers, we can do a lot of work, we can make our life easier through that. So right now, I think like finding a gap is quite easier than the time we was before we was having a lot of issues. Right now, I think it is super easy to do find the research gap, and that is the most important thing. Because if you guys are going for a good paper, so the main thing is idea. So how you guys are going to get the idea? Is it all happening through literature? You guys need to study a lot of papers. So right now AI can help you. And previously even Professor Marcus said that for a new researcher, if someone is going for a paper or something like that, right now they can just write a paper within 3 hours, within like a couple of hours they can write a paper through AI. It's super easy, but the idea should be unique, it should be very much novel, and then they can go for a good one thing. So it all happened like this. I will just try to add something regarding the simulation. Like many scientists, they researchers, they used to go for simulation tools, and earlier they was having a lot of issues like encoding and these things. Right now AI is helping you a lot in that thing. There is um, Claude AI, you all will be aware about it. Claude AI is helping you to get the code as well. Right now I'm having PhD students, Marcus is having. If someone is working on SPSS, if they cannot get how to work on SPSS or either on MATLAB, on either on NS2, it is so much easier. You can give a prompt to Claude AI, they can give you write the code, and you guys can do that over there. But idea should be yours. You guys should find a good idea, and then you guys should do it in a good way. So the
Can
most,
I add
yeah,
something? You're talking about research gap, and that's fully correct, but there are not that many real research gaps, to be honest. And it's hard to find, and you need to have a lot of experience. What I tell my students, what also can be done is if you have your key papers that you want to base your article on, go into the Outlook, the conclusion. They tell you what the next researcher should do. And typically, I tell my students, don't write that because nobody's going to follow you. But for you, it would be good to follow the professors that have already published. So I tell my students to make a list of all the to-dos that other researchers did before in their papers. And you, like I said, you find this in the conclusion,
yeah,
and you just continue the work that the former researchers did.
yeah,
That's very good and very precise research, because you are in the paradigm and you do the next step. To have a new research gap, each and every PhD student is looking for one, and then you end up in a very small niche, which is good for your PhD thesis, and you can publish there. Yeah, but if you want to have different subjects a little bit more broader, it's hard to find a research niche. And to write there's a research gap, that's a big issue. That's a big word, that there's a gap. You found a gap. Jesus, you're really genius. So, and if I'm a reviewer and someone tells me he found a research gap, I like it more if you say you continue on the research paradigm.
That's a good idea. Yeah, because like it's a like I will agree with Professor Marcus, because the thing is that finding a gap is not an easy thing. Like no one can be an Einstein in this era. I believe so. So that's truly commendable answer Professor Marcus said. But while doing some R&D, or going for some questionnaires or something like that, so we need a lot of tools. Like Marcus is working a lot on contemporary research, and if you can just explain some of the details right now you are doing, so it will be great, because like the people will get some insights regarding that. Like I think, like I believe that in many places people are doing fake data and they are doing research. But when I look at you, really you are doing a great job from many, like it's been almost I will say 2 3 years I'm looking towards your activities. You are collecting data from people properly, but like going into that things, and you want that people should get involved in that thing. So I want that the people should know about that. Please, Marcus.
Maybe we start with the bad side is with artificial intelligence. Now, it helps you a lot in writing research papers. And that's fine if you do literature studies. That's easy. But I had the incident that in my conferences before, there were some people who used AI for literature study, and it was okay because the literature was okay. But you can track that with Turnitin. Turnitin is a program for professors. We use that in Germany. And you can detect if someone used AI. And a lot of people are very, very nervous and very strict on that. I'm not so much. If you write literature study with AI, I think it's fine. It does a great job because it adds to the research. However, I had an incident from Iran, unfortunately. Someone faked not one study, not two. This lady faked 3 studies.
Oh,
And that was at my conference. And one of the papers, my name was on it. And I said, oh my God. You know, if you get one study and it says it's empirical and everything, then you need to have a data set. And I asked for, please send me the data set, and it was not sent. And then I said, where's the calculations? Where's the data? On and on. She did not send it. So I found out the one study was fake. I looked into the second study, another fake study, the third one as well. And it's, you know, it's even worse if you make 3 studies empirically in a year with interviews. Cannot happen.
cannot happen. Yeah.
So I had to call the president of this conference to take out my name and everything, and I researched. I did not report her. I don't want to ruin someone's life if someone does a mistake, but she will not participate in the COSM conference. Unfortunately, she added another person I liked very much and I supported, and she was on 2 of these fake studies. So be careful not faking anything. That's unethical. And if you do that, if someone reports you, you will be banned maybe for lifetime.
True, true. Agreed. So true. So never fake the questionnaires, and always look into it in a serious way and answer it, because that is reflecting the society's problem and what is in the mind of that person. That is really important, because if someone, a researcher, is doing this fake things, it's super bad. It's totally unethical. So moving forward for our conferences, like we have planned for the next year around, I will say like 5 to 6 conferences, or nearly 4 conferences. We are planning, me and Marcus. We are planning for a lot of conferences series, and it will be under the collaboration of AI Explain You Science and COSM Institute. And we will be trying to do this within Europe. If someone wants to join us, they can join us physically. Someone wants to participate online, they can participate online. There will be some seminars affiliated with our conferences. Someone wants to participate in the seminars, they can participate over there. Someone wants to submit their papers, they can do that. It is the like our collaboration is going to start. So this activity is not only about how to write a paper, but it is all about like the collaborations and the opportunities within Europe as well. Like many students, like they used to say me and contact me that how to get a PhD funding within Europe. So I will say like last day as well, 3 4 students contacted me. So I will say Marie Curie is the best funding. You guys can go for that funding. And even Markus, like we was discussing some research opportunities. He said me about one of the opportunity within Germany as well. I think you suggested that to Dr. Dawood as well, right, Markus? Remember that research funding opportunity? It was for about, yeah.
There are a couple of funding opportunities like Erasmus or DAAD, DAAD, and we will look for further funding for the Crossing Research Institute. To come to Germany is not easy. First of all, immigration laws are very strict, and honestly, I think it will be even more strict going forward, because we have a lot of problems with people coming from Islamic countries. And I don't want to judge, but I just want you to warn that this is not supporting to get a visa to Germany or to Europe. It's rather the opposite way now. My wife is from the Philippines, also no visa 2 times. We got denied 2 times. Nobody comes to Germany from the Philippines unless you're a professor or millionaire, or you own a company, or you work for the state. So the German embassies are very, very strict. And it's hard to get interviews. And if you get interviews, you really should be well prepared. Take this very seriously. And the most important thing is, at least for the Filipinos and maybe for Thais, I don't know for other countries, but this is the probability to return to your country. Yeah, I mean, there's in the past big issues with children, big issues with women becoming prostitutes in Europe, and that they will stop that. They have stopped that. But that brings along that a lot of other people cannot enter the Germany or Europe. Yeah? So it became very difficult to travel. Take this very seriously. It will not be easy. The other thing is, especially Germany is very bureaucratic. Yeah, and paperwork is detailed, controlled by the embassy. Yeah, even if my wife, she came here to get married and had a marriage visa, a spy was coming to her house making an interview.
Oh,
Yeah, all the paperwork, especially in the Philippines, very difficult. Yeah, to get all the paperwork done, because in some of the Asian countries, let's say 20, 30 years ago, they did not properly report everything. And my wife had to change a lot of things with the government that have been reported wrongly. So there was a lot of work. So expect the worst. Coming to Germany is also expensive. Yeah, we are one of the most expensive countries. If you want to work here or something, we have the highest taxes, the highest social welfare, and expect that to go up. Yeah, because there will be some reforms coming going forward. It will start this year, and it will continue the next years, that it will become more difficult, because there's a lot of crime going on, a lot of cheating, and people are really tired with people coming to Germany not working. And that is unfortunately, from Islamic countries, very big. Yeah, Syria and Afghanistan, big problem. And from Ukraine, we have a lot of refugees that come to Germany and don't work. It's a huge costing. Like I said, I don't want to judge, but it's very, very costly.
Yeah, I agree.
Various aspects. You don't even think about where it's not only the monthly payment you get, a lot of things that are, and Germany cannot afford it anymore. And if I'm talking to investment people, also you need to take in mind that we maybe go into a recession. Germany has no growth for 7 years. It's a disaster. We're the third largest economy in the world, not growing for 7 years. It's a disaster for Germany. We had, I don't want to even talk politics, but the signs are going more down towards a recession. And that is not a very good environment to do research in Germany, unfortunately, to say. Inam is here now in Sweden. Maybe Sweden is doing better, but it's not a good time to come. The last years have been perfect. Yeah, a lot of support, very open. Imagine Angela Merkel saying, refugees welcome 2015. I started my company 2016. And there was a very positive thing, a very positive climate that has changed due to a lot of rapes, cheating, murders on the street, knife incidents. And unfortunately, I have to say, Islam is always included in that. So if you're from an Islamic country, it's going to be difficult. My friend from Turkey, we want to go to a conference in the United States. Very hard to get a visa for him. Yeah, he's non-religious, nothing, no problem with him, but just the wrong passport, the wrong religion, and this will become a bigger problem going forward. I'm just telling you very objectively, not a good development right now.
Yeah, I agree with Professor Markus in many things. Here, I see the Somalian people here in Sweden. They are. I will say that, like last 2 days earlier, we was going for one meeting, and it was a little bit far from outskirts of Stockholm, and I was just in a rush to get to the bus, and so many Somali people was going without tapping the card. Like, if you are having a card, it's go and just tap it, and that's it. They was that's I agree with it, because like I believe here European people, like how much I'm looking into it, and we was having a friend from one of the industrial institute. We was meeting him, and Marcus, like when I just meet him, I thought that really he is so much innocent. Like, people here are so much good and nice to you guys, and people treat you so well. But the people, like being a Pakistani, being an Asian, I will must say this thing that yes, this is a bit bad thing that many people came here and they are ruining our image and our things. Look at me, I spend whole of my life in academics. Wherever I go, I never have a visa refusal from any country till now. I went first time to UK, never refused. Within 18 days, I got my visa. I was coming here to Sweden. I got a never a refusal. It nothing. I got it. Even I visited Iran as well. Even Iran is in the radar right now. And after Iran, you guys can think about it. I was coming here. But when you are serious with your work, with your studies, with your research, when your documentation is good, you are good, you're a good person. And right now, each and everything on a social media as well. So they check you with each and everything, your activities. So be good with people, be nice. Nothing can happen to you. But that's true. That's a totally true what Professor Marcus said. Moving forward towards our more discussions, there is one person he asked about the postdoctoral fellowship as well. Right now, from AI Explain You Science and from the COSM, we are starting the new era of postdoctoral research fellows journey. And together, me and Marcus will be leading this journey. And if anyone is interested to work with us as a postdoctoral fellow, it will be a remote journey. It will be totally remote. We can give you some opportunities regarding projects as well. If we get it, we can work on it together. The rest of the things can be remote. If someone wants to join us in the conference, so there is a separate activity ongoing in September regarding postdoctoral fellows, and they can come and join us, but it's not funded, so they can come in their own expenses. And rest, we can give you a support of an invitation and these things. It can happen. But if someone is working seriously regarding research, either with the COSM, either with AI Explain You Science, this meeting we are having, it is like you guys can say, it is an MOU signing ceremony. It is an discussion about research. It is discussion about research opportunities. You guys can do connect with us. You guys can do collaborate with us, and we can have a lot of things together. Like Marcus is having one of the research studies. You guys can help us in that thing as well. I will share it in the group. If someone is from AI Explain You Science, I will share it with you guys. If someone is outside our companies, either out of COSM or either out of AI Explain You Science, we will help you. You guys can help us in filling up that questionnaires as well. That can also be possible. Yes, this is okay. I think Shagufta, you are from Malaysia, I guess. Might be I'm wrong, because like or either from India you are. Might be I'm wrong. Yes. Marcus, you want to answer this, like how to write a journal paper specifically, or literature?
If you do research, and I can tell you from my bad experience, first of all, you need a very firm theoretical foundation. And we did a big study on digital trust. That was a huge study, and the theoretical foundation was not firm enough. So a lot of people that are in a doctorate program or postdoc did not participate because they have to stick very, very cautiously with the rules. So only 3 researchers, professors work with us. You need to make it very, very sure that your theoretical foundation is firm, and discuss that critically with a lot of experts. Then the second thing is, if you do empirical research, your questionnaire should be also very much theoretically founded. What I do is I write typically preprints, and I have theoretical foundation for each and every single question. Yeah, it's easy to do now with AI, even better, but each question needs to be somehow connected to former research. Yeah, we are not a newspaper where you can ask someone's opinion or something just without theory. I would suggest each and every question, and if you have a question block, let's say 3 or 4 questions on one topic, you need to have a questionnaire that has been used before. So I would suggest that you use blocks of questions where the questions are validated. Yeah. If you add that up, different blocks, you still have your own research, and you're not repeating an existing research, but it's based on validated questions. If you want to put or add on your own questions, I can just warn you, it needs to be, first of all, well theoretically founded. And second, there's a statistical procedure how to select questions. Let's say you have a list of 10 questions you want to ask. Yeah, you do your research empirically. then you go with ANOVA research or with Kronbach Alpha through that, and you find out what are the questions that you can really use for the future. That's not an easy process. It needs to be statistically well done. Yeah. So I can just warn you with own questions that are new, rather work on validated questions and make a small step in science. This is what it is in science. It's not about big steps. Small steps are fine, and that makes it more likely to be published.
There is another question coming from Professor Danish Jamil, and he's asking a very important question because right now I'm personally seeing this thing as well. Marcus, there is one thing happening right now in academics, especially in the research culture. Like Chinese are everywhere right now, and they are doing one thing with the Q1 journals, with the top ranked journals. They make the visuals, the figures too much good. They make it super good, and once like the reviewers see their figures. So this is very important question, Professor Dr. Jamil. You ask this thing. He's asking this question that, Professor, in your experience, how important are highly quality visual figures in Q1 publications? Yes, from my perspective, if I say it, so right now it is very much important. If you are publishing in IEEE, Springer, or Taylor and Francis, any big publishers, they need a highly visuals, because right now the competition become higher because of the Chinese researchers, and they are focusing more towards, if there will be any visual, they make it in such a good way that when a researcher or a reviewer trying to review it, they just say that this is super good, and the paper is just a normal moderate. But yes, the visuals figures, in my point of view, it matters a lot, because I have seen that Chinese researchers are doing it and they're publishing a lot in Q1 journals. Yes, Professor Marcus, you want to say something about it?
Yeah, I just have been to China end of last year, and let's put it this way: this is the new leading world. Not even the United States is following well, and Europe far behind. So everything coming from China is so advanced right now. The schools are so perfectly organized. The competition is huge. These Chinese people don't even talk to you if you're not Scopus indexed, high H index or something. It's highly competitive. So China is the most advanced country in the world right now. In many ways, artificial intelligence, car manufacturer, yeah, especially bad for Germany. Lots of research areas where they're really advanced. So it's really hard to compete. You really need to analyze what these Chinese people did before the publications and everything. And we are not used to that because everybody was looking to America. Yeah? Most of the publications and the best journals are from the United States. And we don't take the Chinese that serious yet. Yeah, we're too snobbish, too high nose to take this seriously. But there are new journals, new universities that are excellent, very hardworking people. And that you need to know, especially if you're coming from third world countries or not so developed countries. Yeah, it's, you really need to be aware of your disadvantage. Yeah, and if you're aware of that, then you can focus where is your niche and how to get through. Yeah, I mean, let's say Germany. I want to research artificial intelligence, but what the hell I'm talking about? Germany has no artificial intelligence.
True.
Yeah, we have maybe one company in Germany, N8AN, that might be gets funding of a few hundred millions now, but you know, who takes Germany seriously in artificial intelligence? Nobody. It's United States. It's Stanford University and others. Yeah. Not even Harvard University anymore, with all the discrimination going on by Muslims, discriminating Jews and everything. Lots of things have changed.
True.
We should be aware there's a huge shift away from Europe, and United States not so good anymore. The United States has the advantage of a very good capital system. They get a lot of funding. That's why they have huge funding for artificial intelligence this year, for example. They invest $1,000 billion this year.
That's great. That's huge.
That's huge.
Regarding, yeah,
Even China is less, but
yeah,
more efficient. Yeah, they
yeah,
make
yeah,
open source. Another thing, China does a lot of things open source. They have technology and they share it.
yeah.
Very
That's
different approach. So a
true.
lot of people can work on AI and develop things. In the United States, much more difficult, yeah, because it's protected and everything. So you need to find your niche to compete in this area. And I've seen a couple of research from India and lots of discussions there. I have an Indian research group, and they're all complaining. But I've been to India. Okay, it was 9 years ago, but it's a different world. It's third world. There are
Yeah,
some niches where you have well-developed countries, but the whole research area, the funding, the universities, the network that they have, don't underestimate that. It's hard to compete.
true, true, true. I think Ms. Shagufta is asking about which AI tool is best for writing literature. So there are some tools like Perplexity, Consensus, and Research Rabbit, they call it, Connected Papers. You can use that tools for like writing your literature and these things. It's super good to write your papers through using AI tools. But I will still suggest use an AI tools, but then rephrase the things. And because like the way Professor Marcus said about Turnitin, so it is really alarming because they will give you the thing that if it must be having a zero AI, so you guys need to rewrite it, use AI tools, but then make it through your own wordings. So then it will be much better. And yeah,
Now, like I said, you can use any tool from AI if you have good prompts and good research, especially for literature studies. That's good. Also, what's very good is to write the methodology or the results, because that's a standard phrasing, standard procedures, and you can use it for that and rewrite it maybe. I tried to do a prompt to rewrite and humanize it. Not possible. I spent
no
a few
problem.
days on it. Forget it. Yeah, the quality gets bad if you
Yeah,
do so, if you do all the tricks that
yeah,
you can find out. However, I would not recommend for writing AI.
yeah.
I
Agreed,
would
agreed.
recommend research for literature. The good thing is with the prompts, you can easily search for literature. You can categorize it easily. For example, Financial Times 50 literature, Scopus, Web of Science. Then the latest literature I teach my students, let's say 2026 literature. Yeah. Let's say the literature published in 2026 is not from 2026. That's from
True,
25.
true, true,
Because if you publish in a good paper, it takes half a year to a year to publish.
true.
So if you want to have latest information from 2026, you need to go to non-indexed literature. And that's risky. Now we are in the conference papers, we are in the preprints, where there's no quality control. So you can
True.
research it and cite it, but you need to know what you're doing. Maybe you're citing a stupid researcher being totally drunk and published just something. So
True.
it's not controlled. So if you structure your research, that's well. I always prompt, give me the DOI in the literature list, so you can double check if it's not hallucinating. But in research, it's quite well. You can use any tool, and some people say Anthropic is writing better, but this changes every month. You know, there's a new release, a new update, and then you want to follow monthly what program is good. I would not recommend. Searching the literature, finding the best theoretical basis is also good to, for example, in methodology, yeah, and having your theory base to find and look for the right literature to search for, yeah, because it's very hard on scope on Google Scholar or something, too much. You need to have specific questions, do that. And then I would write it myself, yeah, because I tested it, and I wrote a couple of things with AI, and let's say legal letters perfectly, yeah. Invitations, parties, great. Research, no. The coding of these AI programs is too much on statistically what is the next logical thing, and that's not what we want to do in research. Yeah, we don't want to take existing data and then just write something that's very likely to sound similar to what's already published.
True.
The idea is wrong of AI. Second, AI is more on statistics, what is the most likely next word, and not proof. There are no really tools in place that can prove that this is right or wrong.
That's true. That's true. Professor Marcus, AI can help us in many things, but it's not like that. To you should wholly solely depend on AI tools. This is bad. Like there is one lady, she's asking about like which prompt. So I will tell you that if you are going to use ChatGPT or either Gemini or either Perplexity, so tell that tools that what you are going to search. So you need to, if you are going to search for some literature or something like that, so tell them they can make you some prompts as well. So for
Yeah,
prompts, you can ask them and then they can do it. There is one person from India. He's asking because he's asking that right now everyone writing using AI and it shows internet and even it shows 0%. I don't know how it is happening. If
I don't know how that works, that
yeah,
tracking is not detecting it. But I remember Inam and Gita, a lady from Morocco,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Working on a book. So I asked all my friends to submit, and they all submitted, and we all looked at turnitin, and it was below 10%. I checked it all. We handed in to Gita all the papers, and it took a while until we got feedback. But then 2 or 3 months later, the message is 80% AI. And
Yeah,
everybody said, what? We controlled it, we didn't use it, what's wrong? And Tom and I had a discussion, and then we found out that Tornitine had a new release.
yes,
They
yes,
just upgraded or improved or something. Maybe
yeah,
it was also wrong, but all of a sudden, a lot of papers had AI.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I would not recommend use AI to write. Full stop. Don't do it.
yeah,
And the point is, once you started, you're on the wrong track, and you're overestimating your capabilities.
yeah.
And the point is, if you use AI more and more, you never get into research.
That's
You
true.
don't understand what research is about. To read a paper, to understand it, find critics, uh,
True.
discuss it, compare it, or things like that, that is research that needs to be done by humans, and it will be done for a long time also, especially to find out something new.
True.
By talking about how can you use AI, I would not even think into prompts and find a way of easy publishing. Like I said, you're on the wrong track. If we find out, I will not work with you anymore. Once your
True.
name is
No.
AI, it's done.
Yeah, I
The
agree.
point is you can ask questions, like Inam said. Ask questions.
Yeah.
How do I have to do that? You have to
Yeah.
a research paper. I think I said it last time in the last call. I made a research paper and I asked AI how to do that for Scopus index, tralala, and I wrote it descriptive. That's literature study. Then I asked, can we upgrade it to a higher level, like Financial Times 50 level? And then AI said, well, then you have to rewrite the whole paper. You see, these
True.
are the questions then you can ask. How to do that, make it reviewer proof. What are the questions a reviewer would ask? So if you ask questions to AI, that's perfect
True.
because it will answer you all your questions. But if you start thinking and writing with AI, I think you're not a researcher. I'm not interested because I can do this myself. Yeah, I don't need any people working with me using AI for writing papers. What is it? No need for them. Just
True.
think about that. If you work with AI, you are worthless. Let's put it this way, because whatever you do can be reproduced by any stupid guy.
True.
Yeah, like a butcher, or I don't know, they're not stupid, but they didn't study, they are not researchers. Yeah, a nurse, whatever, a carpenter can go on AI and said, write me a research paper. That's not considered research, and it will never be. So
True.
if you do that, that's the wrong track. The right track is to work with AI to ask questions and also ask. One other example, I was writing with AI a journalistic article. There it's fine, about artificial intelligence and AI agents, and it asks, always talk about APIs. I said, okay, what the fuck is API? What do we talk about? Well, this is the Schnittstellen, how you call this, the connections. I said, so what's with the connections? I don't get it. It's a connection. Yeah, you connect to a computer, so what's the deal? You need to ask questions that AI is not telling you. And then I ask questions, tell me why you do this. It takes 3 or 4 questions to phrase it correctly. And then it says, because it's connecting worldwide to everything. It's not two computers. AI agents can connect everywhere in the world. I said, oh my God, now I got it. Yeah. So you need to ask 3 or 4 questions on that. And another thing I just found, I discussed with a friend of mine, I said, how can we support people really in using AI? And it's not technical. Everybody can use AI. So it's not that you need to understand how AI works. And he said, learn a language. I said, what? A language? What does that mean? And the point is, it's a large language model. You need to be
LLMs.
very good in a language because you type in your questions. You need to be very precise. And when he told me that, I said, me, myself, I'm not precise. I'm not. I'm always having too much words. I need to explain what I'm doing before you understand. There are some people who make one sentence, done, you understand. With me, I understood that why, if I ask something, I don't write one sentence, I write 3 or 4 sentences because I'm not clear. And very often I get an answer, I don't want it. So I need to rephrase it 2 or 3 times. And that's okay if you do that. So I can admit it. But to, in language, precisely communicate, know the words, and especially in English, if you use in English, English seems easy to learn in the beginning, But the Oxford English, the high-level English, it's far beyond. Yeah, if I listen to British people, smart British people, I don't understand them. It's like a different language. And English can be very, very precise. German, also very precise language. So I don't know about your India, Hindu, Pakistani language, Urdu or something, how precise the language is. That might be a problem. Let's take the Philippines, my wife, yeah. The language is very easy. You cannot prompt well. You cannot ask questions because the language itself is not precisely enough. That's a big disadvantage to write and ask in English. Don't overestimate your abilities. English is a very precise language if you take high British English. And I know rarely people having a very good English.
Yeah, but I believe that Professor Markus, it should not be from Ukraine or either from Azerbaijan, because then we cannot understand them. And even in their international conferences as well, we are so much in trouble to connect with them because they always talk in their own language, and it's an international activities. And
always think about that. AI is only answering what you ask for.
yes, that's correct. And LLM, the way you said, it's super great because like large language models that works on a huge and massive amount of data. You guys can utilize that for deep learning, for machine learning, but it works on a massive amount of data. LLMs will translate the things for you, will generate the text for you. It can do a lot of things. Like in LLMs, being a technical person, they do what? Like if they are having a sentence, so they divide that sentence into words, and that words we call it tokens, and then they try to process it, and it's something like that. There is a question right now, Professor Markus, that what do you think that how long should be a journal paper? Either it should be a survey, either a technical paper. So what do you think, how many pages there will be in the paper, in a journal paper, you believe so?
It's about 10 pages or not more than 7,000 to 8,000 words.
Yeah, but in some
It's
survey
very
papers,
little.
yeah, but in some survey papers I have seen they have even written 80 pages. It's published with IEEE and something like that.
Yeah,
In
80 pages is a book. Yeah.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
easy to
yeah.
publish a book online because it's just a PDF, but a book is a book. A journal paper is 8,000 words. And I can tell you that because I cannot write precisely. As I said, I admitted it. I'm not precisely. And in English, I'm not precisely at all. So if I write something, I always have too much. I always have to shorten. And the thing is, if you shorten, this is another step of doing research. Yeah, to make one paragraph and put that into one sentence. That takes time and a lot of thinking. And don't think about now AI is doing that because, like I said, it's only the most likely answer to your question. You need to really think about that. And famous German philosopher Goethe once said to his love, he wrote, at that time they were writing letters only, and he said, "Today I do not have a lot of time to write you. That's why I write you a long letter."
Oh.
That's me. It's easy to write a long letter and explain the things, but if you need to shorten it and make it precise, that takes a lot of time. Don't underestimate that. The thinking and the again and again. And I can tell you, a friend of mine from Turkey was visiting me for a month. And for 2 weeks, we're working on research papers. And he was sitting at my desk in my living room. And he was sitting there for one paper 5 days,
Oh,
not moving,
not moving. Oh.
taking a little walk, yeah, going shopping, yeah, whatever, have some food. But he was sitting on one spot and he has his small laptop And you don't see him typing a lot. You see him researching and thinking, researching and thinking. And then he writes one thing, and then after 5 days, he said,
No,
Markus,
it's really,
we are finished, we can publish. I said,
ah,
do you want to proofread it? Want to blah, blah, blah? He said, I think it's done.
that's great. That's great. 5 days. Yes, that's true. I have seen with a lot of professors like that. I was at King's College. My professor, Dr. Yangsha Ding, she's a full professor over there. Really, she was also like that. I call her like a ghost because like she was also working day and night. And right now I saw Professor Wagar in Azerbaijan. Really, he's spending like 24 hours, 34 hours working day and night like this. Right now I'm looking to Professor Marcus. He's working day and night. And I'm so
There was,
blessed to have them.
there
Yeah.
was a question on how much literature. I just saw that.
Yeah. How
And
many
I'm the
references?
wrong person to ask because I
Uh-huh.
was trained at my university to make a lot of citations. And
Uh,
like I said, I'm writing long. I have I make very dedicated research. I want to do it all, and that's wrong. So my friends say, okay, Marcus, you have so many literature. Now delete 2/3 of it and concentrate on the good ones. So that's another thing. It's not that the amount of citations and sources is you really need to find the right ones. And that's a feeling thing. Yeah. First of all, you can check the H index of the people, the journals they publish, and things like that. Yes. But also to fit to your paper and the thinking, does it really support your idea? Yeah.
that's
If I write, I'm too much into a lot of citations and this and that, blah, 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 and I don't want to miss something. But that, I can tell you, is the wrong approach. But again, sitting down, thinking, do I need this research? No. Bum. What I like to do is like a sample citation or sampling citation, I call that. Yeah. You have one idea, and I want to make it very firm. I want to support this idea, so I have a lot of citations.
oh
And that's wrong. You need
yeah.
to have the right. One is enough. That's a very good, solid paper that you cite, a very high level from a good researcher. You have one, it's the correct one, and it's fine. I always find myself having, yeah, but this one also writing about that, and this one, not too many citations.
True.
My problem.
Right now, Marcus, you will believe it or not, but right now people are more into citations because they want to have the 2% scientist, 1% scientist, and 5% scientist. They are faking they are doing self citations as well. This is super wrong. So if you guys are writing a journal paper, a conference paper, or any paper, so do not self cite your own paper. If you have published a paper and you're going to cite it again, so it is bad. It is super bad. It is unethical. I personally believe that go with less citations, like the way Professor Marcus said, and it should be that much close that it should shows that yes, you guys have took some idea from it. Yes, that can be something like that. So again, we will be coming up to the ending notes of today's activity. Professor Marcus, I will say that Professor Marcus should announce our collaboration with AI Explain You Science and COSM, because we will be going to do the MOU. It's almost done. Professor Marcus will just email me that thing. But I just want to have an announcement about that, and I want that Professor Marcus should do it. So that will be much better, because together we should plan this thing. We will be having conferences together, we will be having research activities together, and also we will be having the postdoctoral research fellowships together with the COSM Institute under the leadership of Professor Marcus, and AI Explain You Science under the leadership of me, Dr. Inam. So we will be doing these activities within Europe, outside the Europe. We will be connecting with people. Also, we can do something for the startups as well, because Germany, Sweden, Europe, needs a lot of startups, AI startups. So we can do something regarding that as well. We can help you to grow. We will have, like, especially the family of AI Explain You Science will get more benefits. So I believe that if someone is not connected with us, follow us, connect with us through some ways, through postdocs, through internships, through something like that. It's all remotely, it's all unpaid, but through that opportunities you guys can get a lot of connections, a lot of things. And you know that connect with one person, get an opportunity, there is a lot of things to explore. So I believe that this will be a great collaboration with Qasim and AI Explain You Science. And we will have a lot of opportunities from Germany, from Sweden, from all over Europe. And I hope that you guys will learn a lot of things from my experience, from Professor Markus' experience. Professor Markus have a very great experience within Europe, within Germany. He knows the world, and I believe that he's a national superstar in Germany, because I have seen his interviews on Bloomberg. It's a big channel. It's a big channel. When I met Professor Markus, after that I was in Pakistan. He was visiting Pakistan, and when I was searching him, I thought, oh, he's a superstar because he's on a national TV all the time. So he's not a simple person. I'm telling you, he's super down to earth. That's why you guys see him like this. But he is a superstar here in Europe, and I believe that we can have many more things together. So join us in some ways, in research internship, in either postdoctoral research fellowships, or any place you guys are looking for it. Directly contact me. Professor Markus is super busy. You guys can say that we are collaborating together. So we are one person, and we are doing the things together. So either me and either Professor Markus, it's the same thing. So you guys can connect with us. You guys can do research with us. You guys can do have a lot of opportunities. Qasim and AI Explain You Science, we are having a lot of things together. And I hope might be in the near future we start the online master's degree program or something like that with some US organizations. We discussed that previously. So we will have some opportunities regarding that as well. And I thank all the participants who was from many places with us, from India, from Pakistan, and from other countries as well. They joined us, and especially the team of AI Explain You Science who are recording this thing. I thank all of you. I thank Professor Markus for being with us. He's a great guy, and I hope that you all will learn a lot from our experiences. Thank you so much, and I especially thank the audience and Professor Markus again. Thank you so much. And anything in the concluding remarks, if you want to say, Professor Markus, please.
To be very honest, it's all under the leadership of Dr. Inam Ullah Khan. He's the group leader. He's connected well all over the world. He knows AI, how to organize, and he has great ideas. And maybe one more thing for you as a PhD student or postdoc, especially postdocs want to become a university professor. It's not only about writing papers, it's also getting funding, financing, organizing conferences, participating in conferences, is many different academic tasks to do. And Inam gives you the chance to experience that with his activities and be part of it, even if it's a small step or small work that you do. That's important for your application, when you collect the papers. The professors want to see you not only in researching and publishing, but you need to understand the whole process of research, organization at university, administrative tasks. Yeah, if Inam needs help in organizing something or something, get involved and get a little paper, a little email confirming that you did this and that. That adds up. I just have seen a friend of mine failing. Well, he's also young, but it was not, he had good publications, everything, but not enough experience in managing a professorship. Yeah, there's much more than researching, also teaching and everything. So make it a very broad approach, get everything you can do being involved, fundraising, whatever it is at universities, and get little paperwork. Yeah. And if you work with us, we can also give you a citation or a little certificate.
Yeah.
And we can do that.
Yeah. So thank you so much, all of you. I hope all of you have learned a lot. And thank you so much again, Professor Markus, for coming. And I hope that we will be doing these activities almost on every second day or either daily basis, because we need you and your experience to share it to the world. And you are so kind enough to give us time. Thank you so much. And hopefully meet you in the upcoming activity. I hope you will be in Bangkok then. Yeah.
Actually from Bangkok.
Yeah.
Meeting in
Yeah.
Bangkok with Siam University. So
Yeah.
if you happen to be from Thailand, visit us July 7th at Siam University.
That's great. That's great. And I hope that we will be having a lot of events here in Europe as well. So anyone is interested, they can contact us, me and Markus. We are just here for all of you guys to support you, to help you. Thank you so much, all of you. And again, I'm concluding the things. So take care and bye for right now. But I hope that we will meet again for the upcoming series of activities. Thank you so much, Markus and participants all. Bye. Bye from right now.